What is up, guys, and welcome to Media Day. Today we're here at Dollywood. We're getting a nice little construction tour, kind of like me and John did last year around this time, but this year we're also going to get to dive into NightFlight Expedition. We're going to do a little hard hat tour, go through maybe into the building. Don't really know what to expect with all that. Maybe get a chance to sample some of the festival foods coming up. Behind me down there, joined with a lot of friends today. So if you guys are ready, let's go do this. So something a little different for this go around. Well, you can't really see them, but they're kind of running us through the park on a golf cart. So we're gonna get some fancy treatment here.
Hopped on the cart, and now they told them they could all walk. There's rock.
Now this is
And
a
there's sandy.
luxury service for behind the scenes at Dollywood to get golf cart escorted.
When you're Johnny Amusement, you get a taxi ride, you get a little Uber
Is this
ride.
the Dolly Parade?
No,
It's the Johnny Parade.
Dolly Parade!
So we are part of the Johnny Parade,
no, we're not.
to be replaced for the Dolly Parade that we're not gonna get probably.
All 7 people will show up if you do a Johnny Parade, I promise.
Hey, that's probably 3 more that would show up for my parade.
Got the sign up for the I'll
Seen some decorations for the festival there in the Spotlight Bakery.
I'm just going to keep the camera rolling because I don't know what we're going to see. As you can tell, we're riding backwards. Right down Show Street. Front Porch Cafe. Marcus Place. Going across the bridge into the Heat Rock.
It's literally curb service.
Herb Service. There's
Guys
Red
are going to
Sun.
go right in that door.
So we
Beautiful. And we have arrived. So going into Pines Theater for, oh yeah, we're getting a preview of the show.
Okay.
The Moto,
I don't know.
or is it
something?
that, or it might be the color one. So seeing the stage down here, we are getting a little preview of the Moto Motion Show. That's a new show that's going to be brought to the park this season. There's also going to be a second brand new show being brought to the park as well, but today we get a little sneak preview of the Moto Motion Freestyle Showdown. So getting a little closer look at the stage here. Looks like they've got some ramps set up. They've got a curved one here, which shows me they're going to be doing some backflips. Got a platform up there, so they'll run up there, do some stunts off of it, but we're going to definitely see some flips with this little curved ramp.
A lot of projects this year going on, obviously not Flight Expedition, but we're going to show you some things that always go back to the guest experience. That's something that we are always focused on. We've won the TripAdvisor #1 theme park in the country 3 of the last 4 years, and the golden ticket for best guest experience since they've been giving it away all the way back in 2019. So everything we do has that in mind. And speaking of that, I'm going to introduce Eugene Naughton, who is the president of Dollywood Parks and Resorts. He's going to come on up with me and just kind of let Eugene get us started off here. We'll obviously have Eugene with us all morning long, but wanted him to kind of get us going here. So we had record-breaking attendance last year, so kind of bucked the industry trend there, so that's exciting. So to speak a little bit about that, and then with everything we have going on in 2026, what you're excited about and what your outlook is for this year.
Well, first of all, I just want to say welcome back. I'm glad that we're here at this moment, T-minus 20 days and pushing towards opening, but I'd be remiss to not say, first of all, thank you to the entire Smoky Mountain team, because it's our hosts that are delivering the exceptional performance that really help us buck the industry trend, in terms of everything that happens. Hard to believe that you can stand up on a stage in 2025 as another record year of performance. I'm really, really proud of everything that the team is doing to make that possible. But you mentioned in your intro some of the things that we're really focused on. Behind the scenes, we talk every day in every meeting about how we can improve the overall experience of our hosts and our guests. And we often say our guest experience can only be as good as our host experience. So that's where we really start off together as a group of leaders, really focused in on doing the very best we can for the hosts that are working here, because without them, none of this really would be possible.
Exactly. And so there are other projects that we won't have a chance to see today because of the timeline, but Lightning Rod's had a retracting that will be finished. Lightning Rod will be ready by the time we open. Mystery Mine has a brand new control system that will be wrapped up and ready to go for opening. Daredevil Falls has brand new boats which look amazing. We saw those at IAPA, and that ride has been refreshed. Last year, Blazing Fury reopened on July 4th. So a lot of work on attractions to make sure that they're running efficiently, and like we said with Blazing Fury, can continue to make memories for generations more. So talk to us a little bit about those projects and how, the importance of undertaking those so we can keep those attractions going.
I think one of the most interesting things about what we get to do as leaders here is thinking about long-term over a 10-year period. What are all the things that we're balancing out as a campus to help us manage our resources? Because just like everyone in the room, we don't have an open checkbook in terms of our approach to what we're trying to focus on and what we try to improve on. So it's really a fine balancing act. And I love that it's a long-term view. In May of 2023, when we opened Big Bear Mountain, we all were so excited about that new attraction, our 10th roller coaster added to it. But just a few weeks after we opened, I was on a plane to Europe to ride the prototype to what will be ultimately end up with NightFlight Expedition. It's a long-term process, and to think about you're inviting more people over to your house. And we ran out of parking a lot in 2024 and 2025, so that led us to, hey, you know what, if you're going to invite more people over for NightFlight Expedition, it might not sound sexy, but you better have a place for them to park, which is why we invested over $7 million in adding 700 spaces that opened in mid-year 2025, because it all accelerates to give us a chance to exceed on that. And we're constantly trying to balance all of the decisions that we make there. Sometimes it's a little bit of soft erasing to create more room on our campus so that people can see things better. You'll probably see a little bit of that today, but it's also thinking about the infrastructure things that matter. You don't want to make mom wait for a toilet in line. So we're adding some restroom capacity because we find that that's a pain point in our overall guest experience. So we're trying to be thoughtful about what we do to improve our overall guest experience constantly.
And as Eugene says, there's a lot of interest and input on those projects to make sure that our guests are given what they want. I'm going to let Eugene take a minute here. We've got a lot more for him today. I'm going to bring up Paige, but we're going to talk about a lot of things where guests are giving us feedback, and we're taking that and putting that into what we're doing here at the park. And one of those things is entertainment. So I'll let Eugene finish up.
Thank you all. Look forward to today.
We'll have him along on the next stop. So Paige is going to come on up here at Dollywood, and her team, before she gets up here, I'm going to not let her speak for a second because I want to say her team works tirelessly to make sure that our entertainment product is what it is. If you've seen our shows, it's Dolly Parton's theme park, so you know our entertainment has to be the best that you can find anywhere in the world. Her team does an amazing job of that. They're going out, they're listening to guest feedback, as I mentioned, and two of the shows that you're going to see during the I Will Always Love You Festival came because of that guest feedback. Obviously, it's spring break time during that festival, and families were asking for shows that their kids would love. I think they have two great ones, Outrageous, which will open as part of the festival, as well as Motion, which we're going to give you a little look at that here in a minute. But they're going to be, something that our guests have been clamoring for. They've been asking us for these acts that really do appeal to families. So Paige, I'll let you come on up. But in addition to that, all of our normal booked-in shows will be here. So we'll have Gazillion Bubble Show. We'll be back this year. The Perandi Stunt Dog Experience. The Drone Show will be back. We'll have a patriotic feel this year. And then our normal stalwart entertainment. So all of our house entertainment. So the Appalachian String Band, Heidi Parton's Kin and Friends, the Kingdom Heirs. Everyone will be back throughout the season here. So excited to be able to talk about what we have coming up. One other thing, you may have noticed as you were walking in, the gazebo stage has been removed. Guests were telling us that was kind of a pinch point as they were trying to start their day. So we listened to that. We've taken all those great entertainers. We found, they're going to be out in other places in Dollywood, which takes more entertainment to more places out in the park, which is exciting for our guests, something else they were asking for. So I'm tired with all of that, but your team's the one actually making all that happen. So explain a little bit about what you all go through as you're planning the year, looking for this great entertainment to bring in that our guests are asking for.
Yeah, it really is a process, and it's an integral to what we do and to our programming. And, it's really based off of many different factors, and it seems so easy and when you come and you see all the shows, but it's really, an endeavor, and it's based off of many factors, data, brand alignment, demographic, guest research. We really dig into all of that, and then just the business itself. There's so many different elements that play such a huge part in what we do in the programming. Throughout the year, the team's traveling, and they're going to festivals and shows and industry conferences for performance arts to really, truly try to find the best of the best. And what's something fresh we can bring in. We are working with our vendors and our partners throughout the year to really, what's the new act, what's the new production, what's the new music, to really keep our pulse on what is up and coming. So like I said, it's a huge endeavor to try to program that and fix it within and keep that level of excellence up. And one thing I wanted to talk about too is, we can't keep everything, right? We would love to. I wish we could keep everything we've done over the last 40 years, but it's really hard to find that perfect balance and that mix of programming. And that's really, like Wes was speaking to, it's really of going out there and listening to the guest and the guest research and those surveys and the social media, and really trying to find that perfect balance within the parameters of the business, but really try to find and listen to our guests, because that's the heart of what we do, right?
And so alongside of all these shows that we bring in, I mentioned all of our great entertainment that's here throughout the year that we employ those performers. Talk about that auditions process and what you all do as a team to find the very best and bring them here to be in these shows. We've won numerous awards over the last few years, Play On most recently, but From the Heart also has been honored recently. What we do to find that great group of performers to come here and do our shows.
Yeah, so, the audition process is so very important. It's critical. Entertainment at Dollywood is a brand pillar, and we offer world-class entertainment. So that expectation is really high. So, it all begins with auditions. Typically over the course of the year, we see close to 3,000 auditionees. And that is, we typically will go to like 7 different locations or opportunities, and that's along with video submissions. So after we go on all of these auditions and find all these great, incredible people, it really just kind of starts with each location. We'll start with a big open call, and then we can narrow that down into a callback where we can spend more individual time with those performers and really see what they can do and how they could best fit into the roles that we have. And then after that, it's really, we go into that casting process, and the casting process is, again, it seems so easy, but it is one of the hardest things that we do, is really finding that perfect balance and the perfect person to go into all those individualized roles throughout the year. And we start in March, and we're casting through Christmas, summer, and harvest, and there's so many different roles throughout the year to get us to Christmas, where we have our largest all the hosts that we have. So, with Dolly being our dreamer in chief, she sets the bar pretty high for us. So we are constantly striving to listen to our guests and really, with the audition process, find that perfect person to really be able to get the world-class entertainment and provide that for our guests that are coming each day.
Awesome. So obviously a lot of work still to do, so I'm going to let you go back to do that. We've got a video that will kind of look ahead to everything that Paige's team has planned for entertainment for the year, and then we'll have a little bit of Moto Motion so everybody can see that exciting show and what our guests can expect there. So we're going to get out of the way. today. We will have them available at lunch today, so you can interview them about their show and talk to them about that. So while I'll put the mics back on stage, I'm going to invite Cindy McCormick up. She is our Vice President of Guest Experience and takes care of everything that makes the park look so great during the festival. So I'm going to put this up here for Cindy. And then I'm going to come with you.
Okay, come on. Hey, guys.
Use the other one. You want to use the other one?
Hi, guys. No, I need to see that screen.
Oh, okay.
I
She
have
uses that screen.
photos.
She has stuff to show. So
Photos.
very excited. So we are going to be entering a new world for us soon. So we will be having, we're going to start with Harvey's Boo Bash. So we've already talked about this. We've let you know about what's going on, but this will be a separately ticketed event. But it's going to be a great experience for our guests who want to extend their time with us during the Harvest Festival, be able to stay open until midnight. We'll be able to let all the kids, I know my kids will love doing it because they will be able to get all kinds of candy, ride all the rides with, limited lines, just a great experience. So tell us, first of all, why is this the time for us to have this great event, and what can guests expect from it?
Yeah, so I would love to. So our guests have been asking for a bit for an after-hours event, and you're kind of hearing a common thread here that we are listening. So it makes it a little easy for us to plan what's ahead because we understand what our guests love about Dollywood and what they want more of. So I will say that Harvest is the perfect time to test this great new product after hours. It's one of the best times of the year here, I think. And we're bringing 3 Friday nights in October. It will be October 12th, the 23rd, and the 30th. And if it's well received, which we're pretty sure it will be, you'll see other dates, additional dates in the future, and possibly even extending into other festivals of the year. What do you say about that?
That's exciting. I'm not sure what the hell does everybody else feel about that. I'm good with that.
Well, we're listening to you too. So if we'll go to the next slide, I want to explain a little bit about the scope of this property, and hopefully you can look at that map, and wherever you're seeing that yellow line going around Dollywood, that's the size of this event. Our guests are going to have the opportunity for after hours to have unlimited access for rides on their favorite attractions in the park. So because the attendance will be capped to a smaller number than what our guests are used to in the daytime, they'll be able to ride those attractions over and over. And you can see we're covering the gamut and including all of the guest favorites. So also I will say that Harvey and all of his friends are going to be here, and they know how to throw a party. So if we'll go to the next one. So Benjamin is getting a new outfit for fall, and if we'll go to the next one, our pumpkin master will be on hand to lead all the festivities, and next to the pumpkin master is Pumpkin Polly. She'll be around posing and dancing the night away with our guests. You can keep going. When I pause, keep going. And here's Harvey himself, and he is the very inspiration of what Boo Bash is all about. And he's our chief party planner too. All right, guys. To kind of take the fun on a higher level, we're going to invite our children guests to come in costume of their favorite seasonal costume as they scurry around the park in the evenings. And then you'll see, yes, there's candy, lots of candy. Lots of candy. So how many of you still remember part of your favorite time thing about fall was going trick-or-treating and filling up lots of buckets or bags? So included in the admission of this event, we will supply a branded Harvey's Boo Bash bag for the children to use for trick-or-treating. So every ticket gets a bag to take home. All right, so what do you say, guys? Let's boo this.
So that event is going to be amazing for us. And again, as I mentioned, it gives us an opportunity to kind of go into a new area that we haven't with the separately ticketed events. But you're working on something else for the Harvest Festival that will be included every single night. Will be a dance party, kind of like what we do during the summer. So can you talk about that and give us some details about the dance party that everybody can experience in the Harvest Festival?
Yes, Paige and the entertainment team have been busy on all of this. But we're super excited to extend the fun of a dance party into our fall season. Our guests have told us that they love it. And you know what we enjoy seeing are dads and daughters and grandparents and grandchildren and besties out dancing in our property and laughing and having a good time. It's so important to us that we don't just live the entertainment on the stage, but we're expanding out and breaking those lines and getting into the park spaces. Our entertainment team does such a fabulous job bringing those dance parties, and we can't wait to show you this. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and let you see. It's called Luminites Dance Party. This is our new logo, and you can see Harvey there looking like a disco ball. So there may be some of this. I don't know, Paige. She'll let us know. But this dance party looks a lot of fun, and if you'll go to the next slide, you can kind of see the location is in the same spot where we have Sweet Summer Nights Dance Party. And you can kind of see all the specialty lighting and kind of delivering that eeriness of fall without being too scary. And you know, Dollywood's brand doesn't have us in a space that is overly scary, that would keep any sort of families with young children or there's no fear in Dollywood at all ever. It's good times, and it just happens to be a little bit fun and spooky this time of the year. So if we'll go to the next slide, we can kind of see an aerial model of what that space looks like after dark. And then we can keep going. So these are the costumes that the Luminites dancers will be wearing. These are the sketch designs, and Paige is working with a vendor to bring these looks to life, but you can get the idea that it's going to feel like fall in a fun kind of way, all kinds of different textures and fabrics, bringing these costumes together in a fun way. So here you're seeing how the guests will be engaged by the dancers. If you've ever visited our dance party in the summer, you know how much fun that is. And we can keep going. So we're looking forward to some great spooky fun times this fall, and you know, we're all about bringing families together, and this is definitely an event that pulls our families together, and our guests really love their time here, and so we look forward to this fall being all together right here at Dollywood.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to kind of segue off. You know, your team does an amazing job of finding events like this and bringing these ideas, keeping everything fresh. And you mentioned families at the end and making memories. So where does your team, you and your team, find the inspiration for all of these events and making sure things are fresh and new for guests when they come?
Well, I'm going to say that's one of my favorite questions, first of all. So we really enjoy talking to our guests and living it out. And our president, Eugene, is a big fan of us as leaders, we as leaders getting out into the space and observing what are our guests doing, what resonates with them. So we believe in that wholeheartedly. And I'm going to tell you what we call this, Wes, is our why. Our guests are our why every single day. And so all you have to do is come out of the office and walk across our parks and our resorts and understand what we're all about and what we need to be busy doing every single day. Because see, we take this seriously. We believe that we're on a big mission that this world needs, is more time with family and close friends. And so we provide a beautiful place for that.
Well, thank you, Cindy, for everything that you do to make the park look the way it does. thank you again. It's just a great time of year, and we're excited about these new additions. So we'll let Cindy get back to work. She's got a lot to do. I'm going to bring up Jordan, leader of operations over at Splash Country. So I think he saw what Cindy had planned, and I think he was a little jealous and decided he wanted to do something very similar. So, Jordan, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks. I appreciate y'all being here and coming out on this cool spring morning.
Yeah, very, very cool. Like I said, I know how to pick the days now. So a day like this makes us very excited for the summer and to be able to head over to Dollywood Splash Country and be able to cool off. But we're going to be able to do something a little bit different for guests this year, very similar to what we were talking about with the Boo Bash, is Neon Nights over at Splash Country. So can you tell us about that and what guests can expect from that event?
Yeah, so kind of ripping off what Cindy said earlier, we've really been listening to our guests, and what our guests have been telling us for a long time is that they wanted to spend time together after the sun went down and the temperatures cooled off. And when they started talking about Harvey's Boo Bash, we were like, well, we need to get in on that fun. And so that kind of sparked Neon Nights for us. And so Neon Nights, we're going to put into play on Friday and Saturday nights. It's going to be from June 19th until August the 1st. And the park's going to transform when the sun goes down into a playground of vibrant colors and lights and immersive glow. We'll have more information very soon about how you can purchase tickets for the event, and our Gold and Diamond Pass holders will be eligible for a discount.
Awesome, and that'll be on Fridays and Saturdays, June 19th to August 1st.
Correct, yes. And it's going to be a relaxed and exclusive environment. Think lighter crowds and shorter wait times on your favorite attractions like Fire Tower Falls and Mountain Scream and Swiftwater Run. But it's not just about the shorter lines, right? It's about things that you can't find during the daytime. Right. So high energy DJ at the wave pool, streaming some really cool nighttime beats, and some limited release merchandise items, and specialty Neon Nights dining menu featuring some beverages and treats that you just can't find during the operating hours.
That's awesome. So tell us what else, you've got your 26th season coming up. What else can guests expect when they come to Splash Country during the day before Neon Night starts?
Yeah, we're really excited about all the improvements that we make every year. Some of them are going to be behind the scenes that you may not see, but going back to what Eugene was saying earlier, making sure that our rides are running efficiently, that we're maximizing the amount of time that guests can spend together. We're adding some additional seating at the wave pool, some additional shade, and those are the things that our guests have been asking for.
Awesome. And then one thing that we've become known for over at Splash Country, we celebrate Water Safety Day. That'll be on Thursday, June 25th this year. But alongside that, any day that you go over to Splash Country, our lifeguards do an amazing job of guarding the water and just doing an excellent job of interacting with families and just helping them feel safe while they're at the park. Can you talk a little bit about what your team does to make sure that we do a good job of being the most trusted water park here in the Smokies?
Yeah, safety is the heartbeat of Dollywood Splash Country, and our lifeguarding team thinks of it less of a job and more of their professional calling to protect every family that comes into the park. And that's one of the reasons I think that we've been recognized with some of the world's top awards year after year. But it really extends past the park gates and into the community. We focus every year on Water Safety Day and the World's Largest Swim Lesson. You Took My Line, June 25th. Sorry. And so we'll be happy to partner with that organization again. And it's really just that commitment to safety that we think makes us the most trusted water park experience in the Smokies.
And last year we had the second highest turnout of any water park in the entire world, and we only missed by just a few from one of the water parks in Orlando. So I think we think we can beat that this year.
We'll be turning it up a little bit, yeah, for sure.
So we want all of y'all to help us promote that, and all of you are welcome to come out and take part in the world's largest swimming lesson and Water Safety Day and help us take the #1 spot this year. So Jordan, thank you very much. So everybody,
awkward shape.
Yeah, there you go. So all right. So as I said, we have a lot to see and a very short time to do it. So we have trolley transportation arranged. Now I can see you all. So we have trolley transportation arranged. The team will help you get around over to the trolleys that will take us up to NightFlight Expedition. and we will meet you up there, and we'll do a little bit up there, show you some of the queue line and the loading station, and we'll have time for questions up there about the ride, and then we'll continue the tour from there. So grab gloves at the back if you want some of those, and we will plan to meet you at NightFlight Expedition. Thank you all very much.
All right, so we just finished up the first part of the little event here. Now we're gonna go get trolleyed up to NightFlight Expedition, get to tour around the site of that. We got a little preview look at the Moto Motion. It's gonna be a fantastic show for the families. The kids are gonna love it. It's got a lot of energy. It's got electric bikes doing flips. It's got people doing flips. So the kids are gonna be all into that. We got to see a little bit more information on Harvey's Boo Bash. They're talking about being 3 nights. It's going to be a separate ticketed event, and if it is well received, they're going to extend it into additional nights and additional festivals. So if you guys want to have some fun at Dollywood, make sure you grab yourself a little ticket to the Harvey's Boo Bash. It'll be the first year they've done an after-hours event, and they're also going to be doing one over at Splash Country as well called Neon Nights, so they've got some things planned for that. So we're going to head up to NightFlight now and see what they've got in store for us, so let's go. All right, so everyone is taking a little potty break. I am taking a little sneak peek break because I have bladder control, and I'm gonna check out all the stuff that they got going on here on Show Street. We got the planters all tore up. We had a Jessica pass by. Nothing really going down Show Street. Nothing in the middle. You can see, looks like they're going to be adding probably some drink stations right over here. That should be handy, especially because right over here was a bottleneck where the drink stations were at one point. They may still have them there, but it looks like they might end up moving them over there to a separate location. Looks like up here at the Celebrity Theater as well, they've got a little NightFlight Expedition backdrop for some photos. We're making our way back down here. We're going to get on the trolley to make our way up to the NightFlight Expedition site. We are now taking a little backstage walk here from the backside of Wildwood Grove to get out to the new ride.
Okay, I'm gonna meet up with David, get a game friend.
Gonna put us right next here to Big Bear Mountain. Got those gates opened up. Still probably one of these smoothest coasters I've rode. If you guys haven't yet. We are making our way right back there, and they have got a lot done since we last saw it. Looks like they've got just one more corner to go to put the outside walls on, and it'll be fully enclosed. Right over here, they've got some of the track pieces. We're just gonna let the camera roll as we walk up here. Got some more boxes over here of parts. This is where we're gonna get the full scale of how big this ride actually is. A lot of people kind of doubt how big it is from what they said. But walking right up here next to it, this building is massive. We're getting yelled at for being too slow. We'll keep moseying on. Some more track pieces here on the right. All right, so we're heading, looks like we're actually heading fully inside of the building here. All right, so I'm gonna cut it here and get us right back at the entrance. So if you guys look here, the sheer size of this building is impressive. And this is just one side of it.
Good to see you. Welcome to the front door.
They're ready for you.
Okay. How fun. Who knew you could build a big building?
Project to make sure that all the crews took lunch at the same time today. So this is, I think, the first time this building has been quiet in quite a while.
This is a fairly unusual event.
Yes.
Because we're running construction 7 days a week, 2 shifts a day now, as we set our sights on our opening of spring of 2024.
There you go. You stole one of my questions. You knew what I was going to ask. So, or you all were going to ask. So again, it's quiet right now. So because we're not building, we'll be able to do some of the queue lines. We'll be able to go up to the load station and let you see what that's going to look like and talk about the loading process up there. But while we're here, you know, Eugene, talk about, this is our largest expansion ever, and it's very different than anything we have done before. So talk a little bit about just the
Attraction that's going to be able to operate all 12 months a year. And that's really important for us because we finished stronger in December than we started in March. And people desire a lot of new things to do. NightFlight Expedition is going to be able to carry 1,200 visitors per hour. And what I really love about it is most of the queue experience is inside. This isn't our new meat locker. This is actually going to be helping people enjoy some great air-conditioned space out of the sun and getting a chance to hear and experience the storyline created for NightFlight Expedition. So we're very excited about it, and we hope you feel at home. It's not a crunched space. You think about how big of a building this actually is. It is a big thing. And I remember all of the social comments in the beginning, well, that's not really very big. But now that you see the walls and the ceilings, you really understand that this is in a different stratosphere for us. And this sets the stage on the long-term view of what we're trying to do and compete against, because we want to be the #1 family destination. We want people to come here rather than go to any other place. And I think this ride represents a great entry into that for us.
Certainly does. And you went ahead, you mentioned a little bit about opening timeline, so you've already said that, so I won't ask that question, but I will ask you, this ride has 4 different ride experiences along the way, very unique. There is another installation of this ride vehicle, but it does not do all the things that this does, so it truly is the first in the world that does what it does. Can you talk about, when guests are riding this ride, what's something that they're maybe not even going to see or realize is happening that is really going to heighten the experience for them?
You know, one of the things we did a great job on in our teaser campaign is to have a lot of people wondering what NightFlight Expedition was in its entirety. And being the fact that we're adding our 11th coaster to our property, but the coaster is just one small piece of the puzzle. There are 3 other really unique experiences on this ride that people are going to be able to experience. Some really cool media technology and immersive media technology. You all thought we were building soaring for the first time when we were doing this. Well, soaring is a piece of the puzzle in this, but it's a more immersive style video experience, and we're going to give you a chance to what it really feels like to fly through the Smoky Mountains. And I'm super excited about the idea of our Roaring Rapids experience. And that's one of the things that really excited me about the mock ride, the Rocky Boat conveyance system that we ultimately ended up selecting in this process. That started way back in May of 2023 when we selected it. But the water element, the 500,000 gallons of water that are going to help you rush through this experience will be unlike nothing you've ever experienced before. And I'm really looking forward to that. But I know there's been tons of questions about, well, I don't want to get wet in December. Are we going to be able to hold that back? And what's great about this is that we have control of the wetness factor. Everyone but Kyle is going to ride dry. But Kyle, when he rides dry, we're going to make sure he gets really, really wet. But everyone else can remain really dry. So it's really good. It's really good news for all. But it'll be an interesting experience, and to get a load of what 500,000 gallons of water looks like, step outside to the back door and see that big water tank that we added while you all were on break when we closed in January. It's up and ready to go. It's a pretty big tank.
Big tank. So we're going to walk through you here in a minute, but while we're here, we have Pete with us, the Vice President of Marketing and Public Relations. And one of the things I want to talk to him about, can you share with everybody why this is an attraction? As Eugene mentioned, it's going to be industry leading, that folks will want to come and plan their entire trip to the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's, you've seen through the years, we've tried to find unique things for Dollywood. This is a very special place. We're blessed to be in the Smokies. But one of the things we've done as we've curated the development of Dollywood is to find unique attractions. I mean, there are a lot of one and onlys here. I mean, Daredevil Falls is a great example. We've done a lot of work on Daredevil Falls in the off season to bring it up so that it's another 20 or 25 year attraction for us. It's one of only 2 left in the United States that is of that type of ride, not the Superflow. So we look at trying to find the right unique thing, and Eugene spoke to it, that when, or right after Big Bear was open, we were out searching for what the next big thing is. And certainly, this NightFlight expedition is the next big thing. It is a unique attraction. The conveyance system won the Innovation Award for the industry, won multiple innovation awards for the industry, and it's going to allow you to do multiple things within the space. So you're going to be able to fly, you're going to be able to float, as Eugene said. I'm excited about the rapids as well. I mean, I think that is going to be a unique attraction. But the thing that makes this ride different is it's all tracked. So it is a coaster. You're on a motion base that allows control, and allows us to control what it does, but it's able to put you through a whole lot of different experiences that no single attraction in the world has. So if you want to ride it, you've got to come to Dollywood, and then you can experience everything else that we offer to our guests every day.
And I'll ask Eugene, so we talked about the fact that we do think that the Smoky Mountains are one of the leading vacation destinations in the entire country. We see and hear guests telling us that all the time. Can you talk about this ride and how it compares to other national destinations, and why this continues to elevate and reinforce that message about this being a place where families can come and easily spend a week?
I mean, we're doing all of the hard work that we're doing, not really to get after the awards that we're being given. This is really about making sure that we care for the environment that we deliver for our hosts and for our guests. And those 2 things drive a lot of the decisions that we make as a leadership team, and the things that we do on property to fix it. You heard me say we finished stronger in December than we started in March. We do more business in the month of December than we do in any other month that we're open. And that's really, really incredible. But when you invite someone over to your house, you've got to make sure that you can provide the right kind of entertainment experience. And that's why we're really excited about what the NightFlight represents for us. 1,200 people per hour, that's a really good, strong attraction for us. It's actually a little bit stronger than what we achieve at Big Bear Mountain. So we're leveling up in terms of our entertainment capacity, because the bottom line is that people come here to be together as a family, and they want to ride things together. And that's what NightFlight continues to be able to represent for us, the 39-inch ride-away. The average 5-year-old in America can get on this ride and have comfortable fun with the multi-generational family that obviously comes here to experience it. So we like to say that we're gonna take it to Orlando and show that there's a different place to go. And I'm really excited about our partnership with Allegiant Air and Southwest Airlines entering into the Knoxville market. And I know Pete is hard at work at creating a partnership with Southwest Airlines because they're going to be feeding more consumers into our market from a lot of big destination cities that I think are going to be looking forward to taking advantage of what Dollywood Park and Resorts has to offer.
And the 39-inch ride department, I can speak from experience with that. I have 2 young kids. This is where they were able to ride their first roller coasters, and that's an important part for a lot of families. And we're proud that Dollywood is a place where we have so many options that families can have that moment and they can do it. So we'll open it up for a few questions. We are going to go up to the load station, but this forum here, I think, gives us a little bit better opportunity for questions. So we'll start over there with Scott. We can probably hear it if you were close enough.
Probably, we're getting
Yeah, I think it works.
So we're gonna go by air, by sea, by land, and based on the jackets you wore at the announcement, we're traveling back in time. Does that mean that Dollywood is embarking on a new trying to go year-round eventually? Because you're building all of this in a box.
No, I think it's a great question, and certainly we aspire to offer, our campus in the most form. Right now, we're 287 days a year. The next big step to open any more, though, requires a major capital investment. If you think about the 10 coasters that already exist today, it would be difficult, per se, to pull one train off of Big Bear Mountain in the summertime to do rehab, because we're going to be open longer. So it will require quite a bit of investment for us to buy new trains in order to extend our season longer. But we can get creative, which we are, and that's what B.A.D represents for us. It's a forte into growing the opportunity to be able to expand our offering, but not put more pressure on the infrastructure at the park. It'll provide a better host and guest experience overall for that, and we have some other interesting and new events coming. Run Dollywood, I know Pete says the only thing he's going to run is if someone's chasing him, but I'm really looking forward to the Dollywood Run series. We're entering into our inaugural race weekend coming up here in April, and I'm really excited that it's sold out. And it's sold out so fast that we're going to add a fall race, which has already been approved by the city, and it'll be able to extend that fun family event long term.
All right. Who else? We've got time for a few down here.
So I'll ask, how do you combat water versus the air and rust on the train and all this the elements that you're combining in this just make it physically work?
Yeah, you'll notice the choices of the style of track that we're putting in will give you a good signal on where water is and where water isn't in the ride. Because when we did our original construction tour several months ago, you all took pictures of black and galvanized steel track. Galvanized steel underwater, black not in water. It gives us a chance to care for the infrastructure of the ride. But if you're putting 500,000 gallons in your ride and you need to do some maintenance on the ride when there's no water, then you have to make sure that you develop a way to get 500,000 gallons of water out of the attraction so that you can care for it. So we have had a lot of interesting challenges along the way, Kyle, in terms of how we approach planning this and executing this one-time, first-in-the-world attraction. So many different style of experiences under one roof. And I can't wait to ride it. It's going to be a lot.
I know you said spring 2026. Can you narrow that down anymore?
Yeah, I think that gives me legally until June the 15th. June 20th overall. So I'm looking forward to running Russ and Jason and Barry's help and to do this as safely as possible and get it open as soon as physically possible. And just like what we promised when we did our season pass campaign, we're really looking forward to having a dress rehearsal on NightFlight with the pass holders that renewed early for us. And when we did Big Bear Mountain, I said spring of 2023. So if we can get it open sooner, we'll be pushing hard to do that. But we have to do it safely in a deliberate way.
What room are we currently in? This is the first line of the queue, so this is the largest queue space. As we make our way up to the loading station, the team, Joe and Josh and the group in the back there will lead you through the other queue lines. And you'll see more of these elevations as we go through those to get an idea of what the queue experience will look like. And then when we get to the load station, we'll talk about the ADA load and some different things about the process up there. But yeah, so you'll see that along the way. So we'll get the queue space in the loading station.
Are there going to be show set elements in this room, or in the queue, or in the tracks?
Yeah, the entire queue is a show. And I think everyone will be thankful to be able to learn about the background story of NightFlight and be able to experience that all the way through the queue. That's part of us making the queue experience a better experience for our guests. We're planning for a 55-minute wait, and just like Big Bear Mountain was, that's exactly what we did. So when we first opened Big Bear Mountain, the queue stretched out a little bit outside the building through our overflow, but we quickly gobbled that up as we became efficient with our operations for Big Bear Mountain, and I would anticipate the same thing for NightFlight.
But yeah, there will be switchbacks in here, but there is show in all the way.
During any part of the queue, are you able to see the attractions, the boat portion, the coaster portion, or you wait until load?
Yeah, you gotta wait till load to really finally get it. I mean, that's kind of the fun and the hidden storyline behind it to actually put up there to the park.
Any other questions here? All right, hearing none, we'll ask Joe and Michelle and Josh, okay, they're back here in the corner. So if you all follow them, we're going to take the shortcut and we'll meet you up on the.
So here's some mock-ups. So this one is a portal that is going to bring you into the NightFlight Expedition area. This is you've got the hangar access and then access to a runway over here. Alright, so right now we are standing in the largest portion of the queue. You can see it's going to be fully indoor, and now we're going to be heading up to the load section. There's going to be little show elements and things to see all throughout the queue here, but you will not get a glimpse of the ride until you're in the load section. So in the next room, it looks like they've got some more little renderings.
This is the room that we're currently in.
Looks like they've got a little tool shed, things like that. And then we got another one over here.
This is the room that we're in.
So the queue rooms are very large in size, so they're going to be able to hold a lot of people. And you can see up here they've got different jars with fireflies and tools, and make our way to the next room. Got some more little mock-ups here for us. So in the next one they've got the blueprints here for the bioluminator, and then they've got the little NightFlight tree. So here we got some stairs. Don't know if you'll go. Oh, we are going up those stairs, just on the other side. So I don't know if this will be part of the queue as well, if you'll have to go upstairs, which I would assume they would have elevators. So if you have mobility issues, ECVs, things like that, they'll be able to get you up to the top. See, with the two set of stairs, the way that this one comes up and hooks, I would assume that the right side will be the time saver line. And we're going to be standing in the normal queue here. It's got a little bit of a longer route. Alright, so we got to the next room. They've already started. Try to hear it. Alright, so now we're going to get a little opportunity here so you can see the loading track area.
Keep on going, guys. All the way down, please.
I'll let you guys go.
It's a big. ADA load
Yes, sir.
for the first time. I'm
So
super
is that
excited.
the elevator shaft that's behind this wall?
It is.
So earlier they were also
I'm super
mentioning
excited
that
about That's a switch
right back
track.
there, there's a
So
switch
we'll be
track.
able to
So anybody that's got
hop
ADA
in
issues,
and
they are going to have
give
a
ADA
switch track
load
for them to
and
slide the
it's
boat
gonna
off.
give the-
And they're going to be able to bring it
folks that
right
need
back in.
Special attention on ADA load to do it seamlessly and at their own pace, and the flow of the boats departing out of the shop will stay consistent, which I'm excited about.
As we were walking up the steps, though, one of the things we were like, man, it's tight coming up the steps. Is that going to be the time saver line that is next door to that? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you do have the option for time saver to not experience the entire story.
Sure.
If that's what you want to do. I know some people in the beginning probably will want to go through the entire
The whole
queue
thing, yeah.
because that's going to play a big part of our overall part of our storytelling experience, giving a chance to really learn about what NightFlight actually is in its entirety in the story. So I'd encourage people to go through the queue.
Sure.
It's a part. I think it's a big part of what this overall run really is.
And so if I'm not mistaken, you said when we were in that room downstairs that the story basically starts in that first queue room, correct?
It does, right away, instantly. And the whole queue has a storyline to it. So,
Is this ride size inclusive? Size inclusive?
I think you're gonna find that it's very obtainable for a lot of people. I pay attention to that in our studies for our rides. It's a part of our RFP process, and we put that into play a lot. Yeah.
So if you didn't hear the question she asked is if it's a size inclusive, and he says that it should be.
Yeah, so I think you're gonna be exiting on the other side and leaving. So that's where you're gonna be unloading and out. And then you're gonna be loading at the end of the queue and in. You'll be stepping over. Yeah, but there are handles built into design to make it very easy and attainable for anyone who might need some extra sturdiness as they're passing through. We've kind of thought about that in the design of the boat. And when you see it in person again, you're gonna be like, oh, that's why that is the way it is. Yeah. Well, Core, you're gonna see a glimpse into Core and Jasper's world and being a botanist. So that's what the Q line experience is about, to be able to start to bring you into the fold of what NightFlight actually is. And that's the entire Q, is to bring you up to speed on that. The thing that I really appreciate is the space.
So over here on the end, you can actually get a really good glimpse inside of the ride.
Tight spaces.
You can see the track there, it goes up, curves around, that's that drop going down. Actually has a pretty steep drop, and that's where it drops down at.
In East Tennessee without our air conditioning.
So, this is going to be a little closer look. Right down here is where they're going to be doing the switch track, which is a big plus.
He's on the other side with Kayla. You got
That
it?
way, anybody with an ADA pass, they can come up this backside here The boat will slide off the track, let them load at their pace, then slide right back into motion, which is a really neat feature. Keeps the guests moving that are in the normal queue. Should really help cut down on the wait times. This right here, we were correct, is going to be the time saver line, but if you take the time saver, you're going to miss most of the shuttle limits that go through the queue there. We are heading back out and down into Wildwood Grove, I believe. Walking through, they've got the Mad Mockingbirds disassembled, doing their little yearly maintenance up on that. They got one of the cars for it right here. So we've been walking down through Wildwood Grove, Timber Canyon, a few little construction projects. The little pond here below drop line is drained. These are the bathrooms they have extended, and they have really extended them out there. Got a little stop and talk here, it looks like.
Those of you that remember when Thunderhead was built back in 2004, this was the end of the park. So if you were here, you remember those days. I certainly do. And these restrooms were kind of it. That's all that was up here. And at that time, when the park was being built, that's really all that was needed here. But as the park has expanded and now continues all the way around Wilderness Pass and connects all the way over to Craftsman's Valley, there's obviously a lot of foot traffic that comes through this area. And one thing that we were hearing from guests is we need more restroom capacity on this side of the park. So Eugene, first of all, talk about again that guest feedback. And when you hear about a project like this, I think you and so many people in the park, I think it is more important, and you treat it that way, that things like this that really heighten the guest experience are just as important as the one we just left with NightFlight Expedition.
I know everyone in my family thinks I'm crazy because I get excited about a new restroom, right? But to me, this is one of the best ways for us to show that we're paying attention to the overall capacity of the park and the infrastructure and valuing what the guest experience really is. So we're planning our solutions for not only Timber Canyon, but also in Rivertown, because that's another hotspot of traffic for us. And of course, when you first enter the park in Show Street. So those are restrooms that are under study now to figure out exactly what kind of capacity improvements we need to do. And I know we all walked by Lumberjacks. That was always a backup in there. So we did some renovations this off season for the queue of Lumberjack Pizza, which will allow for the flow through the place quicker, but we're also executing self-service drinks on the outside so that it provides more opportunity for increasing our throughput.
And when you consider projects like this, outside of guest feedback, what other things are you looking at? You mentioned planning ahead and thinking about what's coming to get ahead of that. What are you looking at when you're making those decisions?
I have a grid that I keep on my desk, and it's 12 key things that are important to our overall guest. And we monitor where we are with our attendance and our trends over the 10 years, and it sort of gives me a view of what's in the green, what's in the yellow, and what's in the red, and it actually guides our investment strategy at the park. It helps us be able to make the hard decisions, because I wish that all of you could write about the fact that Eugene should be given an unlimited checkbook to all of his advancements on infrastructure,
that would
so
be
that
great.
My CEO, Andrew Wexler, could hear you all say that. But we have to be good stewards of the resources that our company has and be thoughtful about how we execute them.
Excellent. Any questions here about this topic while we're here?
So are there new restrooms in there?
Yeah, we're doubling the capacity of the restroom here in Timber Canyon for both men and women, so we're really excited about that.
It's gonna be painted, right? It's not just gonna be white.
Yeah, that's the good news is you're seeing behind the scenes tours. It's sort of our dress rehearsal. We're not quite finished yet. I promise I'll fill in the stuff here, and there'll be new trees planted, and it'll look like it was always here.
Perfect.
So you can see they have reworked the giant planter. Usually it was right sitting right here. It was, especially during the fall festivals, filled with the pumpkins, and then the Christmas had all the trees, but now it looks like it is going to be hugged up next to the building here. So that should be a interesting look when it comes festival time. Looks like next we're going to be heading up here by the Thunderhead roller coaster. Going through the little side gates. And we are getting a look at Cinderella. Let's try to get up here in the front real quick and get us a good shot.
We're going to try and be as loud as we can here. As I mentioned, we had a date, and it's, I think, past noon, so I don't know if Cinderella, after midnight, after noon, we all turn into a pumpkin, but here we are. You may have heard that there's a little bit of work that's been going on with our Dollywood Express locomotive, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. In the past, I think you all know when we have drought conditions, high wind warnings, red flag warnings, that we are unable to operate the Dollywood Express due to the risk to the environment. So ever since 2016 and the Smoky Mountain wildfires, we've been looking at opportunities to be able to make sure that our locomotives are able to be operated during those conditions in a safe manner. Now, from time to time, things may still happen. You can't just go to Napa Auto Parts and buy the parts that you need to fix what may happen to the Dollywood Express. But by doing what we've done, we're able to ensure that we're able to operate during those extreme weather conditions. So what we've done, and you can see obviously Cinderella is finished and I think ready to go for the season, sounds like to me. But we have taken both, and Klondike Katy is being converted now from coal to oil fired. They will still be steam powered, and for the guests who ride the engines, there's no difference other than you may not get cinders. Well, you won't get cinders in your eyes. That'll be the only difference. And what's interesting to note about both of our locomotives is at various points in their history, they were already oil fired. They were converted to coal before they came to Dollywood. So we're actually converting them back to a state that they were in historically. And Nick can speak to that a little bit. Nick is actually from the Durango-Silverton Railroad in Colorado. His team has been helping ours with this, but I want to start with Eugene first. So we've been talking about ensuring that all of our attractions are good to go for our guests year-round. And talk about the experience for guests when they aren't able to ride due to certain weather conditions and making the decision to switch the locomotive back to oil-fired.
I mean, I think one of the things that we really care deeply for our entire leadership team is to make sure we deliver our experiences consistently. And whenever we have downtime or attraction problems for things that are in our control or Mother Nature is controlling us, it really hurts us because we average about 600 to 700 people per train run here, and it's a sacred cow. People adore riding our trains. So one of the things we thought about in trying to figure out a better way to operate more safely for Julie and the team is to be able to bring them back to the roots. And we've been hard at work at this, and her entire team of trained professionals has done a really good job of adapting and learning the new procedures relative to how we're operating today. But I'm proud of the partnership as well, because what we know is we don't want to do things haphazardly, and when we do things, we invite the experts in, which is why we created the partnership. So I'm looking forward to having you all tell a little bit more about the story of what we did.
All right, so I'll turn it over to Julie here with the Dollywood Express. So first of all, Julie, tell everyone with this conversion, what difference it makes for you in the cab, but then how the experience for the guests basically is the same.
Absolutely. Nothing's going to change as far as running the locomotive. The engineer will actually still run it as he or she always has. So the operating part of it will not change. It's the firing part of it. So the firemen used to shovel the coal into the firebox. Now they're actually operating a burner to add oil into the firebox. So from a guest standpoint, nothing's going to change for them. They're still going to get that wonderful experience that they always have on the Dollywood Express. Except for this time, like you said, Wes, no cinders in the eye or getting all over them.
Awesome. So now I'm going to let Nick speak. He doesn't look like he wants to, but he's going to. This is Nick Breeden. As I mentioned, you're from the Durango-Silverton Railroad in Colorado. You've done these conversions before. You have your own trains there that you converted. Because these were oil-fired before, did that make the process easier for you to do, or how did that work? Yeah, and you got to get really close to it.
Oh, no. No, the fact that they burned oil before didn't really change anything that we had to do. What we've done here is we've basically taken years of research and analysis that was done by railroads 100 years ago, and we've been able to apply it and kind of adapt it to our own engines and also to these engines. So far, it's all done, and it's been very successful so far. But a lot of this was designed in-house using that research, and so it's been really cool and fulfilling to see it be successful.
So, kind of speaking to that, you've done it on a lot. Tell us about what it was like to get to come to Pigeon Forge and work on the two locomotives we have here at Dollywood.
Well, so funny story. I was born and raised in Maryville.
Oh, well, there you go. You just came home then.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So,
I thought you sounded like me,
yeah,
so there you go.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Maryville, and I moved to Durango right out of high school. So it's really been unique and kind of full circle for me to come back, because I blame these engines for my interest in railroading. So
full circle.
It's Eugene's fault.
Full circle moment. Awesome. Well, I'm also going to let Julie talk about a little bit of fact of, will you share a little bit about your background? For some of you I think have maybe talked to Julie before. Can you share a little bit about your background and why you decided you wanted to come here to do what you do, and the interaction you have with guests and the inspiration you provide?
Of course. So I come from a medical background as a neurodiagnostic technologist. So I come to Dollywood about 11 years ago, and what I thought was just going to be for a summer. And I took one walk by the engine and knew my path had changed. So I hope that encourages people to, chase their passion and their dreams, and to follow, what excites them. It's never too late, to change that, no matter how different that path may be.
Awesome. All right. Do we have any questions for Nick or Julie about the Dollywood Express while we're here? A little bit. Next question.
Is burning the oil more efficient than the foam?
It's cleaner.
Yes and no. Both were very efficient in their respective qualities, but with this you have a lot finer control over the fire in the firebox, whereas you can't take coal out of the firebox, but with this you can turn the fire up and down. It's very almost infinitely controllable for the temperature. So right now it's just sitting and it's burning in there, but the pressure should not have moved, hopefully. If it does, it was my fault. So if it gets loud in a second, blame me.
Awesome. Other questions? All right. Seeing none, I think everybody's probably ready for lunch, so we're going to head down the hill.
All right. So the rumors were true. The rumors what ran last season that would be the last year for coal fire and they'd be switching over to oil fire, but everyone kind of doubted that. And this right here goes to show that they were not false. Cinderella's already converted. Klondike Katie is getting converted. So by the time season opens, we should have 2 oil-fired engines here at Dollywood. Looks like we are now making our way through the front of the park. Probably going into, if I had to guess, Front Porch Cafe. Sit down, have a lunch. We're also going to get a first look at the I Will Always Love You sign here for the front of the park. They've already got it changed up and put up and ready to go for opening day. Doesn't look like anything too crazy construction-wise has been going on down in the front side of the park. You can see there. Got a little bit of work going on here next to the bakery. They've got some of the doors off over here next to Show Street Ice Cream. So it looks like they might be refurbishing or replacing some doors. Honestly, didn't know that the restrooms had a little garage roll-down door on them like that. It's different.
Yep, inside us. Ended up being a slip.
So walking up Show Street here, one of the biggest things you'll notice first is right before the Dolly Experience area, the little gazebo stage there has been removed. That little section has been opened up. People are complaining that it was too much of a bottleneck right there in that section coming into the park. So they're going to have the performers out into different sections of the park. Not really sure yet what section of the park they're going to be set off into, so we'll find that out here soon. So I'm seeing everyone pass the Front Porch Cafe. I could have been wrong about that, but there are a few people in there eating. They could also be ushering us over to the Celebration Hall buffet area. Either one of them would accommodate the size of the group that we have here. I think the Celebration Hall buffet would actually hold it off a little better though. Looks like we're stopping off here at Market Square to talk about something else. Let's find out. So didn't notice, but the booth right here has been removed. It's been opened up, expanded. Don't know how we didn't notice that earlier on our walk up through, but it is gone.
Amazing amount of work that has been done in this area, and how much more open it is now that the booth that was here is now gone. It's really increased the sight lines. You can now really see celebrity theater, and I think Eugene has said this kind of came because people would always be asking all of us when we're here in this area, where's celebrity theater? Well, you couldn't really see it because there was so much stuff here. So now we've helped with that.
It was always fun to stand right here and everyone would say, "Where's celebrity theater?" And I'm like, "What's right beyond that booth? Can't you see it?" So one of the things we talk about is soft erasing to try to make the guest experience a little bit more seamless, and this gives us a great opportunity to showcase celebrity theater and get more people off the Midway into experiencing our shows. Since we're there, the theater should be full, and it's a natural evolution to where the season pickup location is. We actually have plans to bring Rudolph and his friends back, and it'll be stationed right there behind us, which will be a great thing during Christmas and a great kid event to add.
And, we've talked about, how the park has continued to evolve and grow. I remember when I was a kid, my first time here, the ticket booths were here at Market Square, and WDLY radio station did live broadcasts where Kettle Corn is now. And, I have a picture with Celebrity Theater behind me at 3 years old. The park looks a whole lot different than it did then. Again, talk about, as you kind of move through the process, you talked about soft erasing. Kind of talk about that process and keeping an eye toward the future.
Yeah, we really, when our team is together thinking about the future, what we want to try to do is make changes so that when we put it back, it looks like it's always been here. You can't really tell what's new and what's old. So we want to be authentically Dollywood Parks and Resorts. So we think hard and true about what that is, but you have to constantly evolve. We did some construction work inside of Cricket's location. If everyone has ever been here during park operation, you know who Cricket is. She's the lady back there cooking on the skillet. Well, guess what? She has not only 2 skillets, but a 3rd burner added to the skillet. So Cricket, in her 36th year, is super excited.
You're gonna be happy
about coming back to work.
That is awesome. Any questions here?
We got to get food.
I know. Everybody's ready to eat. I can tell.
Let's cut. Let's
All right.
roll.
We're going to go to Aunt Granny's. So salads will be at your places. You can go ahead and put your coats down, your stuff down. Go grab something to eat, and then pick a space there where the salads are ready to go for you. So, and then we'll have a few more things we'll discuss after you've had a second to settle down and enjoy your food for a minute.
And we're going to Granny's?
We're going to Aunt Granny's.
Okay, so now we are headed to lunch. And I had both locations wrong because we're actually going to Aunt Granny's. I haven't been in Aunt Granny's and ate there in a long time. So walking into Aunt Granny's here. We're going to find a spot for all of us. So getting a little preview of some of the festival drinks. You got a dragon fruit lemonade, mango tea, which is going to be at Trailhead Eats, Market Square Skillet. We've got a sunflower lemonade, again at Market Square Skillet, and then this one's going to be over at Crossroads, the hibiscus strawberry tea. I'll bring you guys down the line here with us. nachos. Next up here, look like we've got some sort of potato fries with bacon on there. They brought the little corn ribs back as well. These are Tex-Mex loaded fries. I don't think we're gonna dive into that one.
You good? You help?
So here we've got sausage and rice skillet. Yeah. Grab one of these though, it does look pretty good. So we got a smoked pulled pork slider. Alright, so we've got a good selection of the festival foods here. My favorite thing, they brought back the fish and chips. They've got a raspberry lemonade cinnamon roll. Strawberry cupcake looks delicious. We've got all kinds of good stuff here. So we're gonna dig in and we'll see you guys afterwards.
Eat all of that great food happen. You can keep eating while we're up here talking, but this is an amazing culinary team that throughout the season does a great job of making sure our festival food, our core base product food is really the best in the industry, and they take heart in it. So I'm going to start with Aaron, Chef Aaron Banks, let him kind of talk through who everyone is and talk about the food that everyone had today.
Absolutely, thank you, Wes. You know, Matthew and I would love to take all the credit, but we have to give some credit to two of our executive chefs, Chef Bobby, raise your hand, Bobby, and executive chef Christopher Seabrook. These two do a lot of heavy lifting for us throughout the year. Believe it or not, we have 160 menu items on our base menu. And then we have another 220 items on our festival menu items. So they're looking at over 300 and some odd number of menu items each year over the winter break. So they're not playing video games in the office and anything like that when we're closed. They're actually tweaking, reinventing, whatever we can do to make Dollywood food excellent. As far as what you're trying today, we did a mix of flower and food items, festival items, and then also Iwali festival items, and then just a couple of base menu items. So with our drinks, we're introducing 20 new drinks this season throughout all our festivals. Today you have the sunflower lemonade, the hibiscus strawberry tea, dragon fruit lemonade, and mango tea. So hope you guys like that. So we have many more throughout the year to introduce that is new. Salads. Kind of a different spin on our salad. So one of the salads she had today was a smoked beet salad. So we take beets and we smoke them for about an hour or so, cool them down, and then we kind of dice them up, and then we introduce that into a arugula salad with a lime vinaigrette. And then the other salad is blueberry and peach feta salad too that we're offering at Market Square this season on doing flower and food. Some of the entrees, we have the sausage and cabbage skillet, so a big skillet. You always got to have that cabbage. That's such a East Tennessee staple. And of course, sausage. Where can you go wrong with pork, right? You've got to have that in your diet all the time. And then on another festival, that same type of sausage, but we're going to incorporate that with the rice. So that's a sausage and rice skillet. You guys tried the loaded potato wedges, which is an incredible dish. So I really like that. And then some of the sweet items you had, there's a raspberry sweet roll. So we, something like a cinnamon roll. So we take the cinnamon roll concept and we have like a raspberry jam that we put in the middle, and then we have like a lemon glaze that goes on top. So we're going to introduce a different type of style of cinnamon roll-ish type concept for each of our festivals. And then you had the cupcake. So I hope everyone liked the cupcake, the strawberry cupcake and then the Black Forest cupcake. So, and then two base items that we had on you tried today was the fish and chips. So it was a flounder, hand breaded, front porch, and then the loaded Tex-Mex fries. So that would be a Tillin Harvest.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out. Bobby and I work hard all through the season just to make sure that we're putting out some new items throughout the 5 festivals and throughout our base menu. Like I said, we have a lot of new items coming, and we have a lot of stuff that we're already working on for 27. So it's a very exciting time for us. We stay very busy. I appreciate you coming out, spending your time, giving your feedback, tasting the food, make sure we're staying up and current, and keeping a new spin on what we do here from a culinary trend. All right, we want to make this the best food in the area. And I couldn't do that without you guys, but thank you for coming out and enjoying our food.
Brooke said, yes, we appreciate the feedback, so please, if there's anything you see that you think could be better or done better, don't just give us accolades, let us know what you think we can do better so we can be better for everybody this season and next season. But it's a strong team. Chef Seabrook and I got the credit, but we got a strong chef team in the back that also helped to produce this meal for you guys, and every day in the department make the food to the expectations that Seabrook and I set for them. So I'd like to give thanks to them as well. But thank you all for coming out today.
Thank you guys, and they're always so humble about what they're able to create. It's always my favorite time of day is mealtime around here, so that's why. I'm going to ask Matt Poorman, also on the culinary team, a little bit about where Aaron just read off a number of items, and you said throughout the year you've got more than sounded like about 350 items all throughout the park during the year. Matt, where do you find inspiration? You all are always looking to the Smokies, you're looking to new festival ideas, even NightFlight Expedition, there are ideas there. How do you all take those and put those into such great culinary items?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we get a substantial amount of our inspiration from looking at specifically the branding that goes behind the festivals and any type of activations that we have. So a big part of our inspiration also ties back to the seasonality of the food that we do. And, there's that adage of if it's not broken, don't fix it. We take that and we throw it out the window, and we really look at what we do and how do we always make it better and how do we improve on it. Seasonality is a huge focus. Not just that, but it's also colors and the different things that we can tie back into Dolly and Dollywood, such as like little butterflies or tiny little edible things that we can have that would relate to a beverage garnish or a food garnish. And a big part of our inspiration is our team. It doesn't just drive from the culinary group itself. We have an entire facility that's filled with people that love food, including all of you and the rest of our guests. And we literally are an open door. So more times than not, we'll have someone that says, hey, have you thought about this? Have you tried this? And we'll look at it and we'll say, we'll take a look at it. And more times than not, we find a way to make it work. But the interesting part to that is that it takes anywhere from 10 to 12 months for that to come to fruition. So prime example is the meal that you have today. This was started 10 months ago, and we're still evolving even up to the weeks leading up to the festivals.
Awesome, great answer. Does anyone have any questions for any of the team? Yes.
Yes, I just had a question. So for those guests who don't eat pork, red meat, are there going to continue to be more vegetarian and vegan options?
Oh, absolutely.
Festivals, sorry.
Yes, we have quite a few vegetarian and vegan options on our festival menus for sure, as well as in our core restaurants like Front Porch, Till and Hava's, and actually Willie's Pass. We have a lot of vegetarian options as well. So yes, we know that's like the thing that we have to make sure we keep front of mind when we're developing menus. So a certain percentage of each menu, we got to make sure we incorporate in those type of.
And keep in mind, we only presented this is flour and food and Iwali combined. We only presented a small fraction of what we actually do. And everything once it comes out, it's labeled, whether it's gluten-free, vegan, or vegetarian. We tend to try to keep about maybe 3 to 5% of our items that are usually within that. We do a lot vegetarian meals, and we always have Front Porch, which is my first love of a restaurant. If you want something special, we always do something specialty there.
And you keep hearing Walla, you probably have figured this out, but a lot of times we shorten it, and instead of I Will Always Love You Festival, we say I Wally. So if you keep hearing that and wondering what that is, that's what that is. Any other questions? All right, well, let's thank these amazing chefs again for everything they did today. Thank you. All right. Appreciate it. I'm going to bring Eugene up, and we're going to kind of, some of us on the team as well, if you have questions, you can grab us. Also, on your way out, there's a table in there. We have a gift for you. You'll see a poster that is framed. Take one of the rolled versions. That gives you an idea of how you can display that. But because this is the construction tour to commemorate NightFlight Expedition, you'll see a blueprint that showcases the ride vehicle. So a really cool frameable keepsake item there. We also, since it's a construction tour, we have carpenter pencils and sharpeners and a bag in there that goes along so you can go home and sketch out your ideas for your big dreams. And then there'll be a press release in there for you to grab, and then the culinary team did not want y'all to go away without a loaf of cinnamon bread. So you don't get that very often this time of year. So y'all are a very special group to have cinnamon bread in the middle of February from inside the theme park. So excited that you all could come out and join us. So Eugene, let's talk about it. Let's see. Cinnamon bread. How about that? So okay, let me make sure. We got a few more things we need to talk about. So we have a hiring event this Saturday in Jefferson County. So one of them was snowed out. So if any of you want to come join us and work with us, we have a hiring event this weekend. We've just talked about the Allegiant flight. So we sent that out this week. If you decide you're going to be in the Orlando area and you want to join us that weekend, November 6th and 7th, they have a few seats left. They said it's sold out very quick, or it's not sold out, but it's on its way. It's sold very quickly. Let's see. Oh, we talked about the marathon.
Yep, we've got the Dollywood Run Series coming up here. I'm really excited about that. I hope there'll be some people in the room that'll join me on the course. I'm doing the butterfly, so I'm going to run the 5K, the 10K, and the half marathon for our series. Look forward to that.
We will, at the end of March, we'll send out details, but we're going to have a fun event to kind of preview that with Eugene. We're going to set up a little course through the park that will not be the actual course, but he's going to run, and anybody that wants to run with him, we're going to do that. We'll send out details about that. Do you want to go? You did say that the fall version has now been approved, so this is breaking news.
Yeah,
we said that earlier.
Yep, that's a good thing. The fall race, since we sold out our spring race within a week, we're entering into a fall race, and we're really excited about that because coming here during harvest is a beautiful time of the year. But obviously we're really proud of everything that we have going on here for our 2026 season. NightFlight Expedition will really, I think, set us well moving forward. But there's a lot to experience. It's hard to do Dollywood in a single day, and I know that our season pass holders are really special to us, and everyone was looking at our operating calendar and wondering why there wasn't a pass holder preview day and how that disappeared off the calendar. Well, just so you know, March the 12th, there'll be a season pass preview day, but we're calling this a dress rehearsal. And we're calling this a dress rehearsal for a reason. We need to kick the dirt off the tires. We need to give our culinary teams a chance to light up all of their equipment and activate their restaurants. We need to get our retail shops open, getting used to seeing people through. We have our shows that were in final rehearsals on that day before we open. So there may be a chance to catch a show or two. And our rides team, they need some practice too. Not all the rides are going to be up. You're going to have to give us some grace because this is called a dress rehearsal for a reason. But we're looking forward to having our season pass holders out for our dress rehearsal on the 12th.
So there you go, breaking news. He always likes to say, Pete and Wes, I'm going to announce something that you all don't know about. So there you go. So breaking news for you all today. So March 12th.
March 12th.
And then the marathon in the fall will be September 26th and 27th. So,
and I want to thank Wes for arranging this and the full team of people here on our campus that makes this preview possible, because it's a really difficult and challenging time of the year for us. We have just 67 days when we close to open, and they're running fast and furious all the time to get that done. So thank you for making sure you got our story out, and we appreciate everyone to come, and we'll be available for interviews if you all need some individual conversations. Thank you all.
Thank you all for coming out. Let us know what questions you have, and if we don't see you here in a minute outside for interviews, we'll see you on March 12th or 13th. You never know. Sounds good. Thank you all.
All right, guys, so that is basically it here for the construction media tour. We got some goodies, got some cinnamon bread. I know you're jealous. Today we got to go up, check out the building for NightFlight, see how just absolutely massive that place is. Got to see some of the little projects going around, got to test some of the new festival foods, and we got a sneak peek look at train being converted over into an oil fire. And then also we got a little breaking news, if you guys didn't hear or pay attention. We are getting a pass holder day this year. I know they said they were not going to be doing it, but they surprised us, and they're doing it March 12th. It is on a Thursday. It's going to be kind of a dressing rehearsal, so not everything will be open and running like it will be on the 13th, but we're going to get a little preview look so you know we're going to be here. If you guys are excited about that, make sure you guys are subscribed. Tune in. We'll be here March 12th, open to close, checking it all out, giving it all to you guys. But we are going to head our way up and out of here. May show a few more things along the way, but as always, if you guys will, hit that like, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.